In this video I'm going to show you how you can ink comics, and I created a new brush or several brushes to ink in a certain style, and I'm going to use my own comic I'm redrawing and also re-inking, and the book is called Quap and the Frigidaire, and it's a story from 1994, and I'm now going to redraw everything, and I'm also going to ink it. In a previous video I showed you how I did the pencils for these panels, and I'm now just going to ink it, and this is really a labor of love, and I'm just taking my time to make these panels. This is a panel from the story Quap and the Frigidaire, and for the first time I'm going to publish it in English. The original book was published in 1994, and now I'm just redrawing everything and also re-inking everything. I'm going to publish it in black and white, so the values need to be in balance. I took my inspiration from Martin Toonder, who is a Dutch comic artist, or was a Dutch comic artist, and also Piet Wijn, and also Walt Kelly from Pogo. This is a time-lapse replay, but the entire panel or the entire strip I made in 6 hours. And you can do a lot with your inks, and I'm using thick and thin lines, and with the thick and thin lines you can enhance the shapes, and with the little cross hatching and the little details you will bring a mood to your drawing, and that's very important. It needs to have an atmosphere. So this is the third panel, and here's Quap Hippo looking at a dense forest, and it's a little bit spooky. So the light is coming from the left, from behind, so everything on the right is a lot darker. What I sometimes do if I have a very dark area, I just ink it pure black, and then I'm using the same brush but then the eraser, and then I just erase the blacks to get a darker value. It's almost like engraving. And the great thing about inking digital is that you can try out things, and if a line is a little bit too thick, you can erase it. I used to do that with white gouache, but now you can just use the eraser with the same brush so that it remains in the same style. The inking of the comic Quap and the Frigidaire I did with this brush, which is part of the BrushSet Stayf Comic Inks, and it's called the Stayf Ink Sable. And it was inspired by a brush I always used to work with, and it's the Winsor and Newton Sable brush, series 7 and the number 2. I started out using that brush in 1992, and it took me until around 1998 until I really mastered drawing or inking with thick and thin lines. And I've made this brush, which has a bit of a structure or a bit of a bleed, and I created that brush because all of the default brushes in Procreate are too digital, and you need some grit to your inks to give it a more of an analog feel. So you can ink in a lot of different styles, but I like to ink with thick and thin, and with this brush you can ink with thick and thin lines. So you can go very small, and you also have very thick strokes. the use of thick and thin, there are some basics. So it is actually to enhance. So if you have a circle and the light is coming from the left, then there's a little bit more shadow on the right. And you can't use that as a basic principle, but you know, when you're inking, you can also enhance some features, like when you're inking a character, and I have some sketches of Quap Hippo. You can start inking and make some lines a little bit thicker, and on top it's a little bit lighter. And what I do is you have a pivot point with your Apple Pencil, or when you're drawing digital, and your pivot point is your wrist. When you draw bigger, then your elbow is your pivot point. And this is just your wrist, and also how you move your Apple Pencil. So it's a very limited pivot point. And when you want to ink thick and thin, here you lose the control right here. So what I do is if I want to do a round shape, I just turn the screen of Procreate and do it in parts. And sometimes you can see that in the work of artists, that they break it up. And this is very thick inking. For the comic, I use thinner lines, and when you're inking digital, let me see, this canvas, it is an A4 size at 300 dpi, and it's better to have the dpi set higher. That's better for inking, then you have better control over your inks. So I'm just gonna make a new canvas and also make it A4 size. So that's 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters at 600 dpi. And when you now ink, the lines become a little bit smaller, but then you have more control over your inks. And with this brush, you can ink shades, with doing cross hatching, and you have to be very precise. When you do it very fast, it will get sloppy. It can be a style, but you have to master doing these inks. So to ink parallel lines, and I sometimes practice this before I start inking my pages, just to get in the mood, because sometimes your hand trembles because maybe you're stressed, and the most important thing about inking is that you have to keep breathing. Because when I started out, inking on paper with a brush, I held in my breath, and then your line starts to jitter, and you just want to have smooth lines. And of course, in Procreate, you can double tap on your brush and go to Stabilization, and this is now set to 14%, but when you want to ink very smooth, you can set it to max, and then you see what's happening. You cannot really ink fast. So then you have very smooth strokes. So if you have to, this is too much, or you have to draw or ink very slow. That's great if you want to work in a more graphical style and need the inks to be very crisp and precise. But I just set it to 14%. That's my preference. But you know, you can play around with the stabilization. You can also use streamline, but stabilization works better for me. I'm now working on one of the last pages of Quap in the Frigidaire. So here's just a very loose sketch. I'm just gonna ink Quinton Oaks. And sometimes, you know, you don't hesitate while you're inking, and I do it in parts. So here's his hair, and I'm not going to ink it like this, because then you don't have control over the thick and thin lines. And then you can build up the inks with thick and thin lines. Because here's the pivot point, and I'm just using my hand because I'm resting my other hand on the screen while I'm inking. So it's a very small pivot point. And it can also, you know, turn around your canvas when you have an angle you don't like. And there's, you know, a lot of different ways to ink, but this is just the way I ink. And you just have to, you know, feel what's right for you and how you can get the effect you want. And if you want to draw straight lines or a circle, a perfect circle, you can of course use quick line. So just draw the circle and then tap with your finger on the screen, and then you get the perfect circle. The same with you know, inking straight lines. So I'm now want to ink this upper part of the desk. You can of course, you know, ink it freehand, or if you hold your Apple Pencil, then it will draw a quick line. And when you tap on edit shape, you can edit these points with a simple line. And of course with ovals as well. If you hold it, then it creates an oval or an ellipse. That's very handy, you know, to use. Now it's a little bit off, so then you can use the points to adjust the ellipse. And I always like to vary these strokes, so maybe use quick line for this line and then ink this more loosely, otherwise it will get a little bit too graphic, and I don't want that for this comic. And I like to keep this brush at 100%, so I have a big variety in my strokes. So here's Quap Hippo. And the sketches are quite rough because I want to keep the inks more spontaneous. Because most of the time I like sketches better than the final product, but you know, you just have to find a way, because the inks will be the part you will see in a comic. So you really have to practice doing these inks, and this is a little bit sloppy, but I've made some other pages. Just gonna show you some of them. And you can create all kinds of atmospheres with doing cross hatching and also the halftones I'm using. And these cross hatchings are also halftones, but I'm also using the halftones in Procreate. And I've made another video about that, about using the halftones, but I found a better way to use them. So in the next video, I'm just gonna explain how I use these halftones in my comics. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because each time I upload a new video, you get a notification. Drawing is fun, and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!